Decide 2006 Election Night, anchored by Britt Hughes. Exclusive Election Day polls with Chris Wallace, Carl Cameron, and Major Garrett cover the battle for control of Congress. Megan Kendall reports on the governor races. Also, analysis by Fred Barnes, Mort Kondracki, Juan Williams, Bill Kristol, and Michael Barone. Michelle Malkin with the inside story on Election Night Blog. Plus, Jim Angle reports on key ballot initiatives.
Democrats need 6 pickups for control, and both parties expect in Ohio, incumbent Republican Senator Mike DeWine will come up short against Democrat Sherrod Brown. And in Pennsylvania, incumbent Republican Rick Santorum will be unable to catch up to Democrat Bob Casey Jr.
Will Republicans hold the Senate? It's probably pretty simple. 3 Republican incumbents are likely to lose: Santorum in Pennsylvania, DeWine in Ohio, and Chafee in Rhode Island. The Democrats need then to knock off 3 more Republicans: Allen in Virginia, Burns in Montana, and Talent in Missouri.
We're also interested, of course, in what the exit polls may have to tell us, especially about the races in Ohio. And for that, my colleague Chris Wallace. Chris?
Britt, we're going to get to those Ohio congressional races in just a moment. But first, the Ohio Senate race, where Democratic challenger Sherrod Brown appears to have a sizable lead over Republican incumbent Senator Mike DeWine. In fact, he's had it for weeks in all the polls. And one of the big reasons, what a difference 2 years has made. Ohio, of course, was the state that put George W. Bush over the top in the 2004 presidential election. But now look at those figures. There are now negative feelings towards the president. 38% approve of the job Mr. Bush is doing, while 60% disapprove. There's also a negative rating for the Iraq War. 41% approve, while 58% disapprove. So those are problems. Headwind for all Republican candidates in Ohio.
As you can see, Senator Schumer looks pretty happy. Let's listen.
We have won in Ohio. They've declared us the winners in Ohio and Pennsylvania.
The overwhelming majority of those polls are closed, and the margin is such now that we are able, and have been for some time able, to project Sherrod Brown the winner. And if Senator Schumer hadn't taken the toothpaste out of the tube, we would have probably maintained our silence, but the cat's out of the bag now. That is a gain for the Democrats over the incumbent Republican Senator Mike DeWine. He is in the category, I think, of Republicans who can be considered collateral damage of a kind in this race. It wasn't that they hated him so much, it was that they wanted to register a protest, and it seems tonight that in Ohio they have. That's a pickup, as we've noted, for the Democrats. Out in Ohio, our colleague Bill Hemmer has been poised to give us a word on how it's feeling out there. Bill, now that we know at least about one of those races out there, what are you hearing?
Yeah, we're at Sherrod Brown headquarters here. We have not seen the candidate. We don't expect until sometime after 10 o'clock local time, which by my watch, Britt's about an hour and 13 minutes from now.
Because we have a big call to make right now.
We do indeed. The Fox News decision desk can now project that Republican businessman Bernie Moreno, who started his entrepreneurial career in the car company and buying auto shops in Ohio, has won and unseated incumbent Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown, who has been an Ohio institution for a lot of years. This is an important flip.
It's just about setting the stage for the November general election. John Husted is the appointed incumbent senator there. Democrats are very much hoping that this is a seat that they can make competitive and win in the fall. They wanted the national party, certainly the party establishment wanted Sherrod Brown. He did technically have a primary challenger here. No surprise here. Brown's going to win that easily. So the stage is now set in Ohio for what will be a marquee Senate election this fall. Sherrod Brown, who previously had been in the Senate, lost his seat during that 2024 election when Trump won Ohio by double digits. Now Brown will attempt to win back a seat in the United States Senate. Any chance, really, that Democrats have of controlling the U.S. Senate next year, almost any chance, is going to require them to have Sherrod Brown win this seat in Ohio this fall.
And Democrats could pick up a Senate seat in Ohio, where Sherrod Brown now leads Republican Senator John Husted by 8 points. And the economy is the top issue for voters heading into November in all these key Senate races.
And this is why the lower propensity Trump voters that don't normally vote in midterms, they're not going to show up. They're certainly not going to show up in these Senate races. And this is a disgrace. The top two, can you put that chart back up there? People don't need to see me yelling and screaming. Can we get my chart? I got my chart. The first two are from my beloved South. 13 points. You wonder why they're talking about Ossoff as a presidential candidate to replace Newsom? He's up 13 points in a Fox poll against Kemp's. This is what the rhinos get you. He's pulling the whole thing down. Sherrod Brown of Pop is up 8. Iowa up 4. Tallarico up 3. In Texas, Troy Jackson up 2. Of course, everything we do in the Senate is protect. You got to protect Collins in Maine. You have to protect Collins. That's why you can't do anything. So how's that working out for you, Thune? Right, here's the disaster. This is what I've said. If you want to save completely a absolute debacle, focus on these House districts.
Robert and I were telling you last year that Ohio and Iowa are going to go or be close. And everyone laughed and everyone thought it was a joke. Iowa is now gone. It's gone. I mean, Ohio. Iowa could be closer. We'll wait to see how that goes. But I'm inclined to agree with Robert that if one is going to go, the other one's probably going to go too. That's just how this works. They don't understand why Donald Trump wins the industrial Midwest, the Rust Belt, and the Great Lakes states. They don't understand. They never got it. You can't start a war in the Middle East. You can't do that, especially not when everyone's most important issue is the cost of living crisis, jobs in the economy, wage growth. This was the last thing that they wanted you to do. The margin on who you trusted to keep you out of war has mirrored the margin statewide in vote preference for a long time. It is extremely predictive. It was the first sign Hillary was in trouble in 2016 in the Midwest. It was the first sign that Donald Trump was in trouble in some of those states in the Midwest in 2020. And it was the first sign that Harris had no chance in hell to beat Donald Trump. And he held on and won those states. But that's because he's Donald Trump. The Republican Party has never been viewed like that. And now Donald Trump is not even viewed like that.
They thought they were going to outweight me. We'll outweight him. He's got the midterms. I don't care about the midterms.